Hello and welcome to Reinfuse. Today we are going to take another look at the Fujitsu Ten Car Marty, the MVP-1 model to be exact. Now we've already done a video on this explaining what it is, but just to recap, this is basically what Fujitsu did with the FM Towns Marty technology after it flopped in the console market. So, well, technically after they gave up on it in the console market, but it's the same thing. So they gave all the technology to their car audio arm, and they made this, which was basically one of the first, if not the first, car entertainment systems. So it had boxes that allowed it to take in GPS and distribute video across different screens, so in the back for the kids, or even play games as well, obviously Marty games. So it's an interesting device. Like the Marty before it broke quite a lot of new ground. So I think what we'll do is, though, in this video, we'll just take a little bit of a look inside and so I go through some of the components in there, because it's quite a neat design inside. First of all, we'll just eject the GPS card. So this is the card that's got the actual car navigation software on there. It auto loads up, and you can also put this into a normal Marty, a non-car Marty, and it will auto boot in that as well. So taking it apart is relatively easy. There are just 5 screws you need to remove, 2 on each side and 1 at the back. So right, and then the top just kind of pulls up and off. So there we go. Very easy, very easy. And inside it's all quite modular as well. All these boards, this is the power board, and this comes out just with a couple of screws. There's a board down here. This board's quite interesting because this was designed to go in a car. It doesn't have normal connectors. It has this big connector here, and this is where all of the video and audio and several other ports come from. So you have to have a special connector. I did not have this connector when I first got it, but fortunately what helped me out when I first got it and needed to work out where to tap the video from is there. It's got all of the ports written on the side. So that obviously really helps out. Make sure I get this in the shot. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so here's the power board. This is obviously the drive, which is a trailess drive, so it just put the disc in the slot. This is supposedly not that reliable. I've not had any issues with it yet, touch wood. But the MVP-10, which is the model that came after this, has apparently got a much more reliable drive mechanism. I don't know if that's true. I've never seen one. So yeah, look in the back. There's a big chunky power supply and a 12-volt plug, which is center negative as well. And also designed to go into a car. Now the good thing about this is the Marty itself has got an inbuilt power supply, which is obviously Japanese, which means in Britain we have to use a voltage converter to use it. But because this has got a external power supply, it means I just had to find a 12-volt center negative DC plug, and it just worked. This is the floppy port. Now I have mapped out all of the floppy pins. They're not mentioned, but they're relatively easy to map out because they kind of follow the Marty's internal drive, which I've already mapped out as well. But I've yet to create a proper plug for it. I've made a 3D model, but I haven't tested it properly yet. But that's so you can put an external floppy drive on, because if you haven't seen my videos on the actual Marty, it uses a floppy disk to install some, well, as a save disk and also a security disk, because it's basically a FM Towns Marty computer. So some of the games require disks. Not all of them, and there's quite a few that say they're ready for the Marty and they tend not to use disks at all. I can get this in shot, and it's quite hard because it's very small and it's hidden away in the back here. I don't know if you can see this down here. I think maybe just this here. It looks like a diode, but it's in fact a type of fuse, and that is something that goes quite regularly, and it's the first thing I had to replace on this to make it work. So that's something to remember. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. There's not a huge amount underneath this. There are, ignoring the CD drive, there's the main CPU board, which is, it looks like a Marty board if you want to, but smaller. If you want to see that, then I suggest just go and look at my Marty teardown. There's this board here, which is basically the communication port, and for this, there's the power system, which is a fairly simple fairly simple power system. It just spits out. The Marty requires some strange voltages, like 7 volts and stuff, which is a little bit unusual for these systems. Like if you look at the X68000, it just uses the same as a PC, so fairly simple to make a supply for it. This is slightly harder. Not impossible, but slightly harder. Well, this one's easy, obviously, because of the DC part, but the Marty itself is slightly harder. So that's what this bit does. And then this board here, which just effectively handles the power switch and some of the external ports. And there's a board on the other side, which has got some memory, and it also handles the connection for the floppy disk as well. So yeah, it's a fairly simple computer. It's very nicely built. It is quite easy to tear down. These boards are a bit hectic to get out because you have to kind of angle them and pull them out, so they're a bit weird, but once you pass that, it's actually quite easy to take apart, and it's a nice bit of engineering. The same as the Marty itself. The actual Marty is a very nice piece of engineering if you go and look at my teardown, and this is as well. Fujitsu back in this era, it's a shame that they left the console market, because in terms of electronics they do a good job. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please hit like. If you really like the video, please hit subscribe. If you didn't like the video, or there's something else you want to say, then please leave it in the comments below. See you next time.